Hi guys, my name is Danielle Barnard Groves, aka Noon at Noon. Tofu Korean stir fry with some fresh uncooked veg with it. Beautiful. In about 25 minutes. You're going to need firm tofu, an extra large block of tofu, mixed vegetable for your stir fry, fresh spinach, coriander, a finely grated carrot, and then the stalks of a green onion. And all of these ingredients you're going to eat raw with your cooked stir fry. And for the sauce that goes with the marinade for the tofu, you're going to need the bulbs of spring onions, freshly grated garlic and ginger, Korean paste, and then my old faithful soy sauce, mirin, rice vinegar, and we're going to fry the tofu in a little bit of sesame seed oil. And then to top it off, we'll have some nicely toasted sesame seeds on top. To brown off your tofu, I found that it's better to coat them in a little bit of cornstarch. It just makes the process a little bit easier. First and foremost, what I always like to do is I like to toast off my sesame seeds first before I do anything else. And then I'll just put them to the side once they are toasted. And we'll also be serving people with some rice, which is already in the pot there with some water and salt. And let's just turn that on. And then just keep your eye on the sesame seeds, because you don't want to get it burnt, and they do toast fairly swiftly. While that's doing its thing, I'm going to now add a little bit of corn flour mixture to my tofu. And also remember, once you've drained your tofu, use some kitchen towel to press out the excess water, because there's a lot of water in tofu. Because if you then proceed to fry your tofu, sometimes it will react with the oil, and you could set the whole place alight. Not like I've ever done that. And then just give it a little mix in the bowl. I think I can maybe add a little bit more. And just go in with your hands, like that. And you will know when your sesame seeds are ready, as they will start to have a nice sesame aroma, will release in the air, and they will brown off a little bit. This is an absolute staple in our household. It's so delicious. I was never a tofu fan until I've tried this recipe, and once you have this recipe, you will always have it at the ready. It's also nice to make it and eat it cold with a salad, for lunchtime, when you don't want to spend too much time in the kitchen. Then it's already made, and then you can just make a little side salad and eat it cold, or you can reheat it. So the sesame seeds are starting to get a nice color to it, and I would say that that is good enough for me. You don't want it a dark chocolate color, just a light golden color is what you're after. And then just put them to the side. The reason why I like to toast them off first is because you've got the pan before you start with oil and frying in the pan. Then you don't need to take another clean pan to do that. And then we're going to go in with our sesame seed oil. So luckily the pan is now already nice and warm after I've toasted the sesame seeds. And then let it just heat up a little bit. I always like to heat up the oil a little bit before you go in with your food. Just be gentle and don't stir it too much because then it's just going to take longer to brown or color. Smells delicious, so it does make a difference. I feel it, you know, it just adds to the flavor if you use sesame seed oil as opposed to normal vegetable oil or olive oil. And then also tofu is a huge source of protein. You sometimes cut your tofu in long strips or like rectangular strips just to make it look a little bit different and more interesting. But you decide. And then after this golden brown color, we're almost ready to add the marinade to the tofu. Now I would say this is good enough for me now. Go in with your Korean chili paste. You can turn the heat now down to medium. I would say about 2 tablespoons. And then just a dash of water. Loosen the Korean paste up a little bit. And then come in with your spring onion. Then you add your fresh ginger and garlic. And be generous with your helping because that all draws into your tofu. And you can turn up the heat now slightly again just to get it going. And then some mirin, I would say about 2 tablespoons. Some soy sauce, 2 tablespoons. And then your rice vinegar, 2 tablespoons. And just stir it through a little bit of onion salt. Because just remember the Korean chili paste is already quite spicy and salty. And you can see how beautiful and bubbly all the ingredients are now. It absolutely smells delicious. So now you can just put it on a very low heat. And while you do that, you're going to move over to your main stir fry, your mixed vegetable stir fry. I'm not going to season this at all really. I'm just maybe going to add a little bit of oil and soy sauce to it because this has got a very overpowering flavor already. And you don't need to spice anything else because this is going to be the star of the show, your tofu. And then add that to the pan. Should actually have put in a little bit of oil in first. Just a little bit. You want to keep it as nice and fresh as possible. Also, it's good to get into the habit every time when you eat to have a portion of your veg as raw so that you get all the variety and goodiness that vegetables have to offer, both cooked and fresh. Just going to add a dash of soy like I've said, and I always like to use the light soy because the regular soy is just too salty for my liking. And I'm not even going to add salt or anything to this. I'm just gonna have it as it is now. With the only thing I've added is the sesame seed oil and the soy. And then don't forget to keep your eye off the fries here. For the vegetable stir fry, you can use any vegetables that you prefer. I've put a little bit of bean sprouts, courgette, carrot and cabbage in here, and a little bit of spring greens. Oh, it's got a good kick to it. I'm going to serve a little bit of rice. Yeah, this is more how I like it. And then come in with my stir fry. And then I'm just going to dress it a little bit with some fresh courgette, a little bit of fresh carrot and some spinach leaves. And it's nice when you can lay it out like that, and maybe when you have friends over, they can choose themselves how much they want of certain things. And then I'll come in with the star of the show, the tofu. And sprinkle over some sesame seeds. Let's give it a go. It's so good and simple. All plant-based meal, and no animals were harmed in the process. See you next time, and let me know what you thought about this recipe.